Fresh off the wake up. Not really fresh off the wake up, but fresh off the wake up. What's up, y'all boys? Ski. We're back at it again with another video, man. Hey, he died on live TV. Now, if y'all don't know the situation, this was a couple of years back. This man that basically died on national television against the Bengals. I think it was like a week 12 game, something like that. But he survived, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and react to this. If you like this video, go ahead, like and subscribe. Please. Help me out, please. Let's go ahead and get right into this video, man. Alright,
They almost lost me. I died on national TV in front of the whole world, you know what I mean?
Do you remember standing up after you make that tackle?
That's something I don't really want to get too deep into.
It was Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills, riding a 6-game win streak, were facing the Bengals in Cincinnati, who had won 7
NFL
straight.
season back, man.
Two of the best quarterbacks
How y'all boys
in
feel about
football
that?
were facing each other for the first time. Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow. The winner of this game gets one step closer to the #1 seed. But this game was never gonna have a winner. It was gonna force the NFL to change its rules. And for the first time in history, a player would die on an NFL field and come back to play on one. The Bengals started hot. Burrow threw a bullet, and the stadium went crazy.
Touchdown, what a start. Cincinnati time.
The Bills struggled to answer,
This is off the hands of Cole Beasley, incomplete.
and they had to settle for a field goal. The Bengals had the ball again, and Burrow found his receiver T. Higgins. Damar Hamlin made the tackle. He stood up, fixed his helmet, and then he collapsed. Within seconds, medical staff stormed the field. Players took a knee, and the stadium that was erupting minutes ago went dead quiet.
Like the world stopped. You could damn near hear a pin drop in the stadium. I'm sorry, this might be a little graphic, but it was like some blood coming from his mouth.
But the scariest part wasn't the blood. Damar wasn't moving because his heart had stopped beating. The trainers on that field weren't treating him. They were fighting to bring him back to life.
Our teammates kind of rallied around him and got into a circle. It was more so to try to protect him so people couldn't see. But the fact that the people that could see really saw. You saw him low-key go, come back, go, come back.
An ambulance drove onto the field, and while the world watched in silence, one woman saw her son.
While everybody's on the field,
That's
and I turn
traumatizing,
around
bro,
and I
for
see
real.
at the base of the wall a woman wearing a blue #3 Bills jersey. She's trying to get our attention, my attention, anybody's attention. And I kind of walk over there and she says, "That's my son. I want to get off the field with my son." We could all kind of just think about what that would have been like for any of us and her.
We were in Pittsburgh watching it on TV, and his little brother was there with us. And when he seen his brother drop like that, and when I tell you I never seen him cry or scream like that, like we were trying to calm him down, like, yo, it's okay, you know, he'll gonna get back up, he'll be back in the game, you know, woo. Next thing you know, it's 10 minutes later, they're doing chest compressions. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's wrong with my nephew? Man, we were all in tears, man. And I'm not a crier, but like, I never cried so hard in my life, man.
The game that was supposed to mean everything meant nothing. 30 minutes after the incident, the ambulance drove off with Damar and his parents. The coaches met at midfield, and Bills head coach Sean McDermott pulled his team to the locker room. An hour later, the game was postponed, but it would never be finished.
Nobody wanted to continue to play the game in a situation like that.
The scene just replays over and over in your head.
Damar made it to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, 4 miles from the stadium. The trauma team was already waiting for him.
And then they resuscitated him a second time when he got to the hospital. So if not for them, my nephew probably wouldn't even be here.
The entire world was waiting for updates. Everybody was refreshing their Twitter, hoping for some news. At 1:48 in the morning, the Bills released a statement. Damar suffered a cardiac arrest and was in critical condition. It was strange. How could this happen to a 24-year-old professional athlete?
Did he have any heart condition or any health issues?
Healthy as a ox. This is a surprise to everybody. We all seen the hit. It wasn't that big of a hit.
But nobody understood. It wasn't the impact of the hit. It was the timing of it. I had to go deep into the medical books to figure it all out. And that was all possible because of today's sponsor, Ultra. After your leg drop at first.
Hamlin fans
Come on,
in the
dog.
middle
Like, really,
kneeling
bro?
right now. Now they are praying.
Hey, get your bread, bro. Get
Football
your bread,
fans
bro.
gathered in front of the hospital to support Damar.
Bengals and Bills alike have actually just formed a circle. Right now, they are praying. We've got a Bills fan in the middle kneeling right now. All of this, of course, for Damar Hamlin. Fans on both sides saying it doesn't matter what team you root for tonight.
The world wanted to help, but didn't know how. Until they discovered a GoFundMe from 2020. Damar was collecting Christmas toys for kids in his neighborhood. The goal was $2,500. Overnight, it passed $3 million.
His mom, to be able to share that with him it's incredible.
Days passed without any updates. Then on day 3, the doctors finally faced the cameras.
We would like to share that there has been substantial improvement in his condition over the past 24 hours, and it appears that his neurological condition and function is intact.
Damar was waking up, but he couldn't speak. A machine was breathing for him through a tube that ran down his throat.
Oh my God, it looked painful, bro.
So, you know, I wrote it out, and I asked, did we win? That competitive nature in me was just still just thinking about the game, and I just wanted to know, like, did we win? Like,
And what did they tell you?
Yes, you know, Damar, you won. You've won the game of life.
Yes, I won. I won the game of life.
But how this happened to a football player, nobody understood yet.
We do not have definitive answers as to the etiology of the arrest at this time.
How did doctors describe what happened to you?
That's something I want to stay away from. I'm still trying to process all the emotions and the trauma that comes from, you know, dealing with a situation like that.
That week, millions of people Googled the same name. And they got introduced to a kid who had been fighting his whole life. A 6th-round pick out of Pitt, raised in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania. He lost 3 of his closest friends to gun violence. His father sold drugs to keep the family fed, which cost him 3.5 years in prison. Damar wasn't new to adversity, and he was gonna overcome it. But the road back was long. 4 days after his heart stopped, the breathing tube came out. He could breathe on his own and finally speak. And the first call he made was to his team, saying, "I love you, boys." 2 days later, that team was back on the field. Week 18, a home game against the Patriots.
Today we celebrate Damar's recovery, our love for Damar, and our gratitude.
It was a weird situation. Everyone was thinking about Damar. And at the same time, the #1 seed was gone because the NFL had made history. For the first time ever, a game was canceled. The Bills-Bengals game was erased, with no winner or loser. Both teams would only play 16 games that season, while everyone else played 17. So the NFL had to invent rules that never existed. Rule #1, if the Bills and Bengals met for the AFC Championship, there would be no home field advantage. The game will be played in Atlanta. Rule #2.
Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Speaking of the Falcons, I gotta react to that video. And no, I haven't watched that video because I was asleep. Well, the game. I tried avoiding it, bro. But I seen some nitpicks, and I'm kind of scared that the Falcons lost. But hey,
if the Bengals
we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see.
Home field could be decided by a coin flip. The playoff picture was chaos, and this Patriots game was right in the middle of it. Damar was watching from his hospital bed, and with the first snap of the game, the Bills honored him.
And down the sideline he goes. This is storybook. An opening kickoff return for Damar Hamlin. And this place is absolutely going wild.
The Bills beat the Patriots, and Tre'Davious White took a moment to share an interaction with Damar.
What he said was, "I'm thinking about y'all. I'm sorry that I did that to y'all." And for him to check on us when he's the person that's going through what he's going through, man, that just shows what type of person he is for him to check on us.
The next morning, Damar was discharged from the Cincinnati hospital and flown home to Buffalo. But one question still hasn't been answered. What exactly happened to Damar? It seemed like a regular tackle on T. Higgins, But ESPN's Bart Scott had a different opinion.
Right before the tackle, he lowers his helmet and he kind of throws his body so he's able to get into you and your chest is exposed.
The truth had nothing to do with T. Higgins. In April, 3 months after his heart stopped, Damar walked back into the Bills facility. And for the first time, he explained it.
The diagnosis of pretty much what happened to me was basically commotio cordis. It's a direct blow at a specific point in your heartbeat that causes cardiac arrest. And 5 to 7 seconds later, you fall out. And that's pretty much what everyone's seen January 2nd of this year. Commotio cordis is the leading cause of death in youth athletes across all sports. So that's something that I personally will be taking a step in to make a change.
But that press conference wasn't just an explanation, it was an announcement.
This event was life-changing, but it's not the end of my story. So I'm here to announce that I plan on making a comeback to the NFL. I've been beating statistics my whole life, you know, and some people might say that coming back to play might not be the best option, but that's their opinion. And like I said, I've been beating statistics my whole life, so I like my chances here.
4 months after losing his heartbeat on the field, Damar was determined to play again. It seemed insane. Unless you understand what happened in that hospital.
One doctor walked in my room. His name was Yusuf. He told me that he had the same thing that happened to him 9 months ago. He just walked in my room and just showed me that this is what it looks like on the other side of the tunnel, and you're going to be able to resume normal life. It happened to him playing basketball at the gym. He was like, he's back to playing basketball. That was like a big moment for me. It just kind of gave me faith and gave me hope.
Yusuf proved there was a future, but one man was the reason Damar was still alive at all. Denny Kellington, the assistant athletic trainer whose hands restarted his heart.
I owe Denny my life, literally.
The reason anyone knows Denny Kellington is because of one fateful and near tragic moment on a football field. I've said repeatedly that I am not a hero, but I will tell you what I was that day. I was ready.
6 months after his heart stopped, Damar walked on to the ESPYs, not to receive an award, but to give one.
Please welcome this year's recipient of the Pat Tillman Award for Service, the training staff of the Buffalo Bills.
Why do you think your recovery is so remarkable?
First and foremost, just God, just a blessing, you know. It was God's way of just using me and uniting the whole world in prayer.
To the world, the story was complete and a life was saved. But Damar wasn't done. His goal was to play football again. So the next season, number 3 returned to the field.
Lawrence on the move, launching down the middle, intercepted. Overthrew the man in Damar Hamlin. A huge roar as one of the most popular, inspiring Bills comes up with the takeaway.
Rudolph with time, and it is intercepted. Damar Hamlin, his second career INT.
My heart is still in it, you know, my heart is still in the game. I just want to show people that fear is a choice.
Then came the playoffs. Buffalo against the MVP, Lamar Jackson. And the player who almost died on the field 2 years ago made the biggest play of the game.
As Jackson wrapped up, the ball's out. Scooped up for Miller. For Miller with Hill chasing after him. Hill tries to swipe the ball out of his hands, but Miller holds on.
Sudden cardiac arrest was nothing I would have ever chosen to be a part of my story. But that's because sometimes our own visions are too small, even when we think we are seeing the bigger picture. My vision was about playing in the NFL and being the best player that I could be. But God's plan was to have a purpose greater than any game in this world.
Please subscribe if you want more of these stories.
That's dope.
YouTube thinks you're gonna like this
That's
video
dope.
right
I ain't
here.
gonna lie, that's dope.
Go ahead.
Hey, y'all, if y'all enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, man. And if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. All right, now get off my video.